The following has been brought to you by SJP World Media.
Hall of Flame, no opinions are the same. Lovely chocolate in the bin for the poll, who will win? Cream soda wrestling, pimple dick ranting, air fryer Brussels sprouts, Maxi often cheats. Hey yo, let's start the show. CWF are set to go. Many movies I won't know, such a fiasco. Max v. Cy was pretty crap, probably won't go back to that. Max needs to wear a hat, and he sometimes cheats. Hogan is a liar, but Barry Windham is the
worst
thing. Hogan is a liar, hear all about it on Chain Wrestling.
Hey, yo! Maxi, back from your holiday.
I am, yes, and turned up, unlike yourself, who would have phoned in sick.
Fuck's sake, when is this going to stop?
It will never end. It will never end.
Is that right? Yeah.
And I noticed something whilst we were going through the intro video. Your audio still doesn't play through, does it, properly?
Nah.
Because every time you react when the word worst, which are overlaid, comes up, and you still react to it, and it just makes me giggle.
Yeah, well, I can't. It's weird. I can't hear the music, but I can hear the lyrics, the vocals.
Okay.
So all I get is Sharon saying, "This program brought to you by SJP World Media." Then when the singing starts. And then I get the that bit of music I can hear.
Okay. It's weird.
But everything else is
really,
kind of
really weird.
Yeah, I've got no idea. It only does it on this. Anything else, it's absolutely fine. If I play this recording back, which I do obviously to put the podcast version out, I can hear it all. Yeah. Very strange indeed. Very strange.
Glad to be back though. After a week away. Ready to hit the ground running.
Hit the ground running. Yes. Where did you go?
We just went to Yorkshire for a few days. Went like Monday to Friday, just a break from the rigmaroles of life. Did
you see Dan Griffin? Did you say hello?
I actively avoid Dan Griffin with a vengeance. In fact, I go all the way around York. Just so I don't risk bumping into him. No, we were close to Scarborough, so it would have been. It's a bit way out from York, but yeah, be good to.
Sounds a horrible place, doesn't it? It's not a good place name, is it? No, Scarborough doesn't sound like a good place, does it?
I mean, it's a nice, quiet resort. I mean,
right.
The name is it's grim, and it's like a Blackpool but toned down a little bit. Everything's just a little bit slower. Everything's just a little bit calmer. There's not as many pissed up dickheads. So yeah, it's nice.
Okay, fair enough. I've never been.
Well, to what? Scarborough or Blackpool?
Well, either. Actually,
I've never left Gloucester.
No, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what's the most north I've been. I've been to Scotland when I was a kid, but I can't remember anything about it because I was little.
I bet you get nosebleeds once you get to like the M25. Like, this is too north for me. The air's getting thin.
Well, when I look at when the bands I like are touring, when I look at it, I sort of say the cut-off point is Nottingham. I won't go any further.
At the dead middle of the country.
Yeah.
I am not going past Wolverhampton. If it's they can fuck off.
Wolverhampton's good for gigs because there's some really good venues out there. You know, Cardiff, Swansea, Wolverhampton, Bristol, Birmingham, all those sort of places. That's great. I won't go as far as London, and I won't go further than Nottingham because that's when the trains start getting more and more expensive as well.
Yeah. So if they only gig in the north, west, and the southeast, you're fucked.
Well, no, it depends who it is. If it'll take something very special for me to get over Nottingham to go and see
leave the counter. It will take a lot for me to leave the Midlands.
Indeed. Indeed. And on that note, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever and whenever you may be listening or watching from. This is Chain Wrestling Live, an SJP World Media production, episode 173. I am Si, and with me, as always, is the Charlie Haas to my Shelton Benjamin. Can you see where I'm going with this, Mags?
No.
The Marty Jannetty to my Shawn Michaels.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
So in my defence, every intro I've done like this, I always have me on the shitty end of the stick, and you as
it should be.
But on this one, I thought I can't do it. I just can't.
You flip the script.
There we go. The Marty Jannetty to my Shawn Michaels, a podcaster who is back from his holidays. It's lovely to see you, Magsy. How are you?
I am doing very, very well. It's lovely to see you as well, and lovely to see all the scenery ref coming to join us after a away. We have been very haphazard with our recording schedule, but that stops this week. We're back on it with a bang.
We are until the end of July when I'm away.
As well. But apart from that, we'll be
actually no, because it won't affect it. I'm away with the missus for a bit at the end of July, mid-July-ish, so that won't affect it. That'll be fine. I'm at a festival as well at the end of July. I could be hanging out of my ass for that episode of Chain Wrestling though, because I come back on the Monday and I could literally be dying.
Yeah, I'll predict I'll get a WhatsApp message saying, "No, I'm not making it."
Dead.
Yeah.
Well, the wife's a bit concerned. I don't mean. Concerned's probably the wrong reason because she doesn't care that much.
No, it's not. It's the exact word. We're all concerned, basically.
Well, no, what we were talking about the other day, me and the wife, was that we have Download Festival, obviously. Mm-hmm. Funnily enough, it's this coming weekend. Download Festival begins, and I used to go to Download fairly regular, not every year, because it's a very expensive thing to do, isn't it? It's a big investment to go and do these things. So I used to go to Download fairly regular, and the lineup was good. And that was effectively 4 or 5 days, depending on when you arrive. The music was on for 3 days, but you tend to be there for an extra day at least, and so on. And of course, when you're at a festival, there's a certain way people behave. Well, I behave anyway. So you're drinking at breakfast and onwards, and you're drinking all day.
As per. So a normal day.
Now, that last time I went to Download, Sharon in the chat is going to have to give me a shout and remind me here. I think the last time I went to Download, I only did a day, so that doesn't apply. But the last time I did the whole weekend was probably over 10 years ago. And it was a struggle, Magsy. All the walking, I was getting older. I couldn't party like I used to. You know, I'm getting older.
My God.
Right?
Old man.
No.
I've got to be in my tent for 6 o'clock.
Well, the thing is as well, I do Stone Dead Festival, which is it's supposed to be a 1-day festival. We get a few bands on the night before, and if we go a bit crazy the night before, because we're seeing people we haven't seen for like a year and all that sort of stuff, I do suffer a bit on the Saturday morning now, going into the actual festival. This one I'm doing in July is the first 3-day festival I've done in.
Oh, you're
must be
be
pushing
fucked.
10 years.
You're gonna be
Wasp
fucked.
are playing as well. Wasp are headlining the Saturday night, which is the reason I'm going.
Oh, so you can get an early night then.
Oh, you're such a prick. So I'm gonna. Everyone goes a bit crazy when Wasp are on. So yeah, I'm thinking. Sharon thinks I'm going to be able to hack it. Sharon thinks I'm not going to be able to hack it.
Put your Zimmer frames in the air. Wasp are coming on stage.
Speaking of my good lady Sharon, shall we dive into the chat and see who has joined us this Tuesday
Yes,
night?
we shall. Yes, we shall. And speaking of Sharon, she's the first person to come in. She says it's Tuesday night. You know what that means. Thank you very much for joining, Sharon. And then Matt, badly played video games, says he's sort of here. And then 30 seconds
Properly
later, he says properly here.
That's brilliant.
Pig Bladders, hello, sir. How are you? He says, evening, gents. And then Morty says, no, just Yorkshire. Where did you go, lovely Max? Well, thank you, lovely Morty. And also, check out their Morty and Fitch's YouTube channel, because some of the stuff that they eat it's foul. It's absolutely foul. But yeah, I went to a town called Farley. So it's basically like a little beach town. About half an hour away from Scarborough. Just got some R&R, 4 days of R&R, and just recharge the batteries, ready for the grind again, I suppose. Dan Griffin in the chat, hello sir, how are you? He says, hey up Ducks, how's that ganning? Look at that, coming in with an early non-wrestling topic material.
I have no idea what the fuck that even is. What is that? How's that ganning? Ganning. No, there's no G. I apologise. How's that ganning?
That's a northern thing. I mean, we don't say ganning in this part of the north, but I can translate. It's like Korean and Japanese. There'll be bits that cross over, and you can kind of muddle your way through.
You've heard your hired help speak like this, haven't you? I imagine.
Yeah. Jeeves talks like this on many of occasion. So this is hello Ducks or hello people. How's the ganning means how's things going? Okay. You must have known that. You must have been able to work that out.
I've just never heard that expression before.
Back to Matt, and he says, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you too, sir. And he says, if you need a hot tag that week, sir, I'll happily be Mags's punching bag. What do you mean punching bag? He is very, very underneath with how he is with me. You saw from the start, I'm the Marty Jannetty, apparently, of this podcast.
Oh, fucking hell. 170 fucking 3 episodes, and you get one dig in the intro.
Dan says, sorry, Mags, can't do tonight. After the festival, my brain has been legally reclassified as a pickled egg. I mean, to be fair, I think Sar's brain has been legally dead for a long, long time.
Quite possibly, mate. Quite possibly.
Sharon says, last time we survived a whole weekend was 2009, but you've been since. Maybe it was 2010.
Yeah, possibly. That was the year AC/DC played, so I think so, yeah.
Dan says, hope you don't get stung by the booze and miss Wasp.
Oh, I like what you did there.
Just jokes on jokes. Matt says he's been to Farley. It's a lovely little town. Yeah, it's a little bit of a town that time forgot. You drive into it and everything turns black and white, and you see people with bowler hats and canes walking around. But it's
and you
quiet.
Can't leave like in From.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's very much like that. And Matt says Brown's Fish and Chip Shop is the best fish and chips I've ever had. I don't think I've ever been to Brown's. We don't tend to go to. We tend to like find little kind of like hidden away restaurants and fish bars. But if you go to Whitby, go to like Magpies or Trenchers. They are the best fish and chips by miles. Dan, exactly. We are now entering. You are now entering Farley. Please set your watches back 70 years. Exactly. They've not even had a test score for that long. That's how backward the town is. I think there's only one bank machine in the whole town.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
They're still dealing shillings.
Oh, fair enough.
Anyway, that's the chat all caught up with. And again, thanks for all joining us. Amazing.
Yeah. What have you been up to then, Magsy, apart from your holiday? Anything good? Anything to report?
No, not really. We've had terrible weather, so I've not been able to do any much gardening. Why is your cat's having a fit in the background?
There's a fly in the room. Oh, Christ.
He's
there's
escaped.
a fly or something in the room.
He's
there's a fly.
So no, it's just been quiet, kind of like getting back into the swing of things after a break. You kind of throws you off kilter a little bit, doesn't it? But yeah, it's been just a nice, quite relaxing week. I did watch quite a bit of wrestling this week, though.
Okay.
Yes.
I did not.
Oh, you missed out, sir.
I saw the trail end of Money in the Bank because I forgot it was on. And I was sat up doing some stuff on my laptop and whatnot, and I suddenly went, "Oh shit!" Like I put it on my laptop and watched the end of that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was quite a few cans in, so I can't really remember much about it. I have not watched Worlds Collide yet, though, which apparently was very good, and I've got that marked down to watch. Sometime this coming week, catch up on that. Yes,
it's essential watching. It's so good. I mean, I can't say I'm an expert in AAA, but I have watched some, and it's a really good showcase of what AAA is all about when it comes to the style of wrestling. And Mr. Iguana may be the next Joe Hendry. He was so over, absolutely. It shows that as serious as wrestling fans can get with regards to their favorites and their companies and the brand loyalty and the technical moves, it's still bollocks at the end of the day, and wrestling is still stupid, daft bollocks. And Mr. Iguana was just the perfect antidote to the high-flying technical wrestling that you're going to see. He literally played dead like an iguana with his on his back with his hands and feet up in the air. He licked out as if he was tasting the air. He's got a little iguana puppet called Yeska. He's brilliant. He's going to be a massive, massive star. It was just superb. So definitely watch Worlds Collide. The production on it was amazing. I think it was Jeremy Borash, the former TNA guy who did the production. Really well done. Really kind of showcased the history of AAA. Some great matches. Each match was genuinely better than the last. It's essential viewing, and it went by so quick as well. I think there's only like 5 matches on there, but yeah, it's really, really good. So I'll definitely watch it.
So who else was involved on was it NXT involved in the card as well?
NXT, WWE. The main event was Chad Gable versus El Hijo del Vikingo, who was the new AAA champion. He beat, I think it was Alberto Del Rio, who was the old champion, and obviously he's persona non grata in WWE, so the title got quickly removed from him. But that was a great match, absolutely brilliant. There was they tried to make Octagon Jr., who's a masked wrestler, a little bit like Penta. They tried to make him the big star, but he was in the match with Mr. Iguana, and he was head and shoulders above each other. You had Conan was on commentary with Corey Graves, I think. Rey Mysterio did an introduction. Dominic Mysterio was then. He set up a match for Money in the Bank against Octagon Jr. Yeah, it was really, really good.
Okay, I'll check it out. I will check that out. I'm very much looking forward. I've seen a lot of good reports online, and then lots of pictures of Mr. Iguana. So I am very intrigued to find out exactly what that's all about.
It's ridiculous, but it's everything that is fun about wrestling. He's literally a bald-headed guy who paints his face different shades of green and acts like an iguana. He's like,
I hate this.
No, I think you'll absolutely love it. The world loves him. He was so popular on NXT, on Worlds Collide, that WWE got him to appear at Money in the Bank because they knew he'd get a massive pop. Honestly, he's brilliant. You will love him. Oh, Dan says in the chat, What was with people shitting on Conan's commentary? I thought he did well catching up. Exactly. I don't understand the backlash for Conan. I think he did really well in explaining the characters, why certain characters wrestled in certain ways, who their opponents were. There was one match where somebody had demasked the father of one of their tag team partners, and he explained that they've come together to defeat this other team, but in the future, those two will face off again because they'll have to have some revenge. I thought Conan was brilliant. Ignore Matt. They're saying Conan was on a negative. No, Conan did exactly what he should have done, which was explain the whole emphasis of AAA. And his first line was, "This is not American wrestling. This is Mexican wrestling." He explained all the moves. Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. So ignore Matt.
Okay, I will.
I mean, we never need a reason to ignore Matt, but if there is one, take it.
Something that we spoke about before your holidays, Magsy, me and the wife were watching Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah. Never watched it.
We've now come... Sorry?
I've never watched it.
Oh, okay. We've now come to the end of that. I was going to ask your opinion, but you've not seen it, so...
No, I genuinely haven't. It's one of those programs where I heard about it later, like 2 or 3 seasons in, or it got my attention 2 or 3 seasons in, and it just didn't feel like something that I'd be interested in. It'll probably be one of those shows where the next season is the last one in it. I think they've said it's the final season.
Yeah, but it's not even a proper season. It's like 3 big specials, almost like three movies. They're gonna be a good couple of hours long, and one comes out in November, I think, and then one in December, and then one on New Year's Day. I could be wrong with that, but
it will be one of those programs where I'll binge it all over like a weekend or something, knowing that the whole story's there.
Okay, yeah. We ended up watching that. It's all right. I'm not gonna lie, it's decent enough. It's maybe not exactly my sort of thing, but it was okay. I like the nostalgia factor and the music.
Yeah, because it's 80s based. Is it 1980s? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like they each season's like a different year. So the one season, just for argument's sake, the one season is 1986. I'm guessing it's a real intentional thing they've done. They've really gone with everything that happens in that show happened in 86. So the music they play was 86. The films at the cinema were 80. It's like they real double down on the year. So I quite enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah, and it's great attention to detail as well.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest issue I've got with that show is that it's about a gang of kids, obviously, as most people are aware. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, and obviously Max, you haven't seen anyone else in case they haven't. The downside for me is that it's primarily originally about 4 kids, but the group expands a little bit. There's only 1 or 2 that I don't find really fucking annoying. So that's an issue because they're the main cast.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But then you can just hope that they get the comeuppance rather than they beat the bad guys or whatever.
Yeah, fair point. And we just started watching Reacher. Have you seen Reacher?
Is that the Jack Reacher thing?
Yes.
I think I've seen a couple of the movies. I haven't seen the seasons.
Yeah, the movies were Tom Cruise, weren't they?
Yeah.
No, I've never seen those. This is not Tom Cruise. This is some massive, muscly dude. He's like fucking huge. If you like your TV really cheesy and stupidly American, I suggest you watch Reacher on Amazon. But if you like your TV slightly more complex, don't fucking bother. Is
it a brain switch off thing?
Oh yeah, totally. And don't get me wrong, it's decent enough. The action scenes are good and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's quite. I don't know. When you've seen one fight scene, you can't see them all, are you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Very paint by numbers.
And it's very the super American hero. I'll tell you what it is. It's James Bond, but American and without the tongue-in-cheek humor.
And without the good acting.
Yeah, so like he'll make a joke after killing someone, and it won't be like tongue-in-cheek funny like you would get from Bond. It's just like a groan kind of. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of aspect. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's spot on, mate. That's spot on.
I'll
The wife
definitely
says she's
try
loving
and not
Reacher.
watch it.
And the wife says she's loving Reacher in the chat, but I think that's because
there's no accounting for taste.
I think that's because, and Dan, Matt in the chat as well, saying the same thing. The lead actor is really fit. Would happy let him make me tap out. Yeah, it's the same as when Quantum Leap used to be on back in the day, and it was almost like one for the mums. They'd find an excuse in every episode for the main guy to take his shirt off, and that's what happens in this Reacher as well. They find an excuse for this guy to take his shirt off in every episode.
I like how you linked it to Quantum Leap, though. Of all the shows in all the world, linked to one that you do a podcast on.
Me and Benny talk about that all the time. In that it gets now we're watching it in order, all the episodes back to back for the podcast. It's ridiculous how often they find the tiniest excuse for him to take his shirt off. It's just completely not necessary. And now I look back at my mum watching it when I was little, and I get why she was interested.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much every episode has him either shirtless or dressed as a woman.
Not every. I think it's only a woman 3 times.
Oh, is that all? Yeah, not many then.
No, not many. But there we go, mate. There we go. Should we just dive into the non-wrestling topic then, mate? If we've got nothing else to talk about.
Let me load up the video and then let's do it.
Okay.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Non-wrestling topic time.
Good God Almighty, there will be no wrestling talk here. Business is about to pick up on chain wrestling. Side Lord Max, please cut it out.
Are you sitting comfortably?
Okie doke then. Right, this week's non-wrestling topic is all about words, phrases, slang, whatever that maybe you use just inside your family, maybe in your friend group, maybe because it's where you're from, maybe you've been somewhere else and you've heard somebody use it and thought, what the fuck are they on about? You've probably been in Gloucester when that's the case. That's literally the situation, Maxie, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when we were discussing what the topic would be, we threw around a few ideas, but this actually stemmed from something that I've seen on TikTok, and it kind of arises every now and again. It's like it's something that comes up all the time, and it was, what do you call a bread roll in your area of Britain? Yeah. And there's like people say, oh, it's a cob, and it's a bomb, or it's a tea cake, and it boils my piss because it is just, it's either a bread roll or a tea cake. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But the amount
bread
of
roll is a tea cake.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
An ordinary bread roll that you'd like chuck a bit of bacon in or whatever.
Yeah, it's a tea.
Is a tea cake.
You either call it a bread roll or a tea cake. Yeah.
How is it? No, because surely a tea cake would be like, it would have like fruit in it or something to make it that way.
That would be a currant tea cake, wouldn't it?
You're fucking weird around your way, ain't you?
What do you mean? It says it in the name. Currant tea cake. Take the currants out. It's a tea cake.
That doesn't make it instantly a bread roll, does it? A bread roll.
No, it's a bread roll or a tea cake. It's not.
No, see, I've heard lots of other explanations and lots of other names for it, which are weird.
And none of them make sense. None of them make sense.
Yeah, but tea cake is the most nonsensical I've heard.
It's not.
It's a fucking roll. It's a bit of bread.
Yeah, a bread roll or a tea cake.
How is it a cake?
This one is another one what annoys the piss out of me. People calling it a batch. No, it's not a batch. So Liv is right to go mental because it is not a badge. It's a bread roll or a tea cake.
She's from Liv's of Wrath's from Coventry, so that's not even that far from us, really.
Yeah, but it's Coventry though, isn't it? She's
here. It's a
Liv
bread
is
roll.
definitely punching down there.
Here is a bread roll, but then you put something in it, like bacon or sausage or whatever, and it becomes a bacon bap or a sausage bap.
No. Anyway,
Yes.
I'm not getting into this argument because I get dragged in on TikTok.
Hang on. Listen, right, you were about to say you put bacon in a bread roll and it becomes a sandwich. That's not right because ordinary bread makes a sandwich. A bread roll is not ordinary bread.
It is a filling in between. It's encompassed in bread. That's what a sandwich is.
Oh my God. Okay, you got to speak to your chef or something, aren't you, and ask them what they call it. You know? Ah, dear me. Yeah, so there we go. Anything goes, saying you had at school, whatever. And we will dive in, Magsy, in the order they arrived into us. Might be a little bit jumbled this week because we had a bit more from Steve-O and so on at a later date. So if I don't get to them straight away, bear with me. I will get round to all of them, I hope.
I'm used to you now.
Yeah, that's of course you are. We begin with the better Lewis, at Chris Lewis 37 on Twitter. Now, he definitely responded first, so that's definitely the right order for me, Max. I'll tell you that now.
I don't doubt it.
He says, I'll never forget the first time I heard someone from Ireland say, "What's the crack?" I had no clue what they were talking about, and I know it's somewhat out of fashion now, but I do like to use the word bugger. Okay.
I bet he does.
I do also say bollocks and follow up with, I'm not swearing, it's a body part if I get a disapproving look.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's just saying bollocks out loud is going to attract attention. But bugger, my God, I haven't heard someone say bugger for years.
See, bugger's one of those funny ones, isn't it? Where it's like, there's different levels of swearing, isn't there? A bugger is one of those that you could almost get away with.
Yeah, it's like
it's like almost flies under
if you heard a kid saying bugger, you'd be like,
"Oh, cheeky."
Yeah. Oh, you little.
Yeah.
But then if he said bollocks, it'd be like, right, bed with no pudding.
Okay, so bollocks is above bugger. We're saying in the scale of swear words. Yes, we should get someone to start writing this down.
Yeah,
someone should start
one day we'll make a tier list of swear words because obviously you'd have like bugger is like C tier, maybe lower. Bollocks would be like A, and then something like cunt would be S tier, wouldn't it?
Right.
Oh, sorry, cunt. That'd be S tier, like the top tier.
Okay, so that's above A.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize there was anything above A. I thought it was just A, and that was that.
Well, you're wrong.
Okay. At MGB Graham on Twitter, he says, the Americanism I have picked up the most was from North Carolina, and I cannot shake it. Simply acknowledging people with, Could say yes, could say you're welcome, but no, each and every time. I think that's just rude, isn't it?
Saying, it's like you're not paying attention, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone like that, I'd test them with a question to see if they were actually paying attention to what I say. And then I'd call them a cunt.
For God's sake.
Matt
follows.
We've got one in the chat here. Sharon says, so's a cunt, but I get frowned at when I say that. Do you frown at Sharon for saying the word cunt?
It depends on the situation. Her mum definitely doesn't like it. Her mum tells her off quite a lot, which is quite funny to see. Somebody telling my wife off. It's quite humorous, especially when you take into consideration that my mother-in-law, as wonderful as she is only about 4'6". It's very, very funny watching her tell off Sharon.
Scary things come in small packages.
This is true, mate. This is true. We come to the first part of our Steve-O section at Elite FPL _ Steve-O. He says, every white southeast Londoner, usually a 50-year-old woman, dialect. You know what I mean? Said after every sentence. Ear, pronounced ear, to gesture you over, i.e., ear, Steve-O. I do that, mind. I got to admit, I do that sometimes.
You do say ear, yeah.
I go ear, Shah, or whatever, you know. Yeah, but said halfway through any sentence. Oh, what was her name? Vicky something, wasn't it? From
Pollard.
From Little Britain.
Vicky Pollard.
Yes. Yeah, but no, but yeah, but no, but. You got to admit though, at the end of a point of view. Yeah, I can see a lot of that happening.
The point of view one, yeah, we get that. Or do you know what I mean? We get that a lot up here. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I say that sometimes, mind.
You say mind as well a lot.
I do say mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this just going to turn into you picking on me for another hour, is it?
No, I mean, isn't that every week?
Pretty much. Steve-O continues. Yeah. Is part of my vocabulary since hearing it from anyone under the age of 30, the constant answer to any question. I.e., did you notice they hadn't completed that form? Yeah.
It's like you're trying to rush the person you're speaking to finish. It's ignorant.
Or almost acknowledge that something's wrong, but by saying it quickly and moving away is sort of sweeping it away a little bit, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Anytime I hear this is Steve-O talking again. Anytime I hear any Caribbean kiss their teeth, he has put in speech marks, I instantly think of Bo Selector's depiction of Trisha. And trust me, if you've seen what she looks like now, this depiction is more accurate. Okay, she was on Celebrity Big Brother, wasn't she, Trisha?
I haven't watched that since Gillian McKeith fainted or pretended to faint.
No, that was in the jungle, wasn't it?
Oh, well, I haven't watched Celebrity Big Brother at all then.
The giveaway is all the fucking trees, Max, really.
Well, the giveaway, it's reality TV, and I just avoid it like the plague.
Trisha was in Celebrity Big Brother, and I remember her being on telly. Like, she was before Jeremy Kyle, wasn't she?
She was the pre-Jeremy Kyle, yeah.
Yeah. So when I just went, yeah, like Steve-O then. Whew. So when she came on the telly, I was like, oh, bloody hell, it's Trisha. And you got a bit of a nostalgia thing, don't you? A bit of a nostalgia kick. And then after about 20 minutes, I was like, this is not good.
Yeah. I mean,
you know,
she was the main reason why Bo Selector got cancelled as a show, because she claimed that, yeah, because she said that the rendition of her was racist. I mean, it's a white ginger guy doing impressions. It does come off a little bit racist. But yeah, she was the reason why Bo Selector ceased to be.
Oh, okay. I thought it would have been somebody else, Craig David maybe. And
he was in an episode.
Oh,
the actual Craig David was in an episode with the fake Craig David, yeah.
And Mel B, wasn't it, as well? They gave her
a bit how do? I'm Mel B.
Oh, I'm going to watch some of that later. That was good stuff. All the way. Oh, by the way, Trisha was also, she's been diagnosed with cancer twice, hasn't she? She's been it the once, I think, and it's come back. So, you know, as much as we're saying stuff about it, good luck to the lady.
Yeah,
you know, she's doing well, I think. Being on that TV show, she may have been fucking annoying, but she looked well. So good luck to her. All the way from Ramsey Street to Magsy in Australia, we have our good friend, Mr. Mangle.
You're going not in order, are you? So I've got to go back.
I'm going in the order they came into us.
Yes. Mr. Mangle in Wolverhampton, Western Australia.
Oh, do you know what I've just realised? I just realised all these are actually time-stamped. I know this just took me 170 episodes, but all my screenshots are time-stamped, didn't they?
Yeah.
Not my the tweets are, sorry. And I can just see that they're not in. I've screenshot them in the order I've seen them, but they're not in the order time-wise, are they?
It's fine. Carry on.
Our good friend Chris Mangle says, over here in Wolverhampton, Western Australia, and I fucking love him for getting on board with this.
And as soon as I saw that, I popped because
I fucking love him.
He's clearly in on the joke.
Yeah, I mean it's been like 60 episodes we've been running that shit now. So,
yeah,
maybe more. Over here in Wolverhampton, Western Australia, there are a few. One that is the most unusual is I call get me hat on, or in plain English, I can't get my hat on. I call get my hat on. Okay. It's an explanation of disbelief, i.e. I can't get my head around that. Oh, so it's not literally meaning you can't put your hat on.
I mean, in Wolverhampton, I have heard that they struggle with basic tasks like putting hats on. But I've never heard that saying though.
No.
Like, I think up here in Minderwoods would say something for I can't get my head around it like you're twisting my melon, I suppose.
You're twisting my melon, man.
A bit of happy Mondays.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday.
I just thought maybe there's an issue with small hats in Wolverhampton or something, or people got maybe more,
large heads.
Yeah, that's probably more likely. The people got bigger craniums in Wolverhampton, and they just got lots of space.
It's quite possible. It's quite possible.
Chris continues. Another is from an old customer of mine who I one day asked how life was going with the company he worked for. He shook his head and replied, "It's bad and it's getting worser." Worser?
Yeah, like worse. Instead of worse, which would be the correct word, worser.
Yeah, worser. Okay, it's bad and it's getting worser. A word I introduced to several of my workmates in future years. Yeah, we should start using that. 100%.
Worser.
We're going to create our own language, I think, in this episode.
Yeah, like Esperanto, but full of idiots.
Well, like what?
Nothing. Esperanto is a language.
Is it? Okay. From where?
It's not from any place. It's a made up. It's a non-geographical language that was made up, so it can take bits from lots of other different languages, so people can easily learn it and understand it.
Okay, that's quite clever. Did you roll your eyes when I asked that question? I'm here to learn.
So this topic is making you learn.
Chris continues. My dear Nan used to describe bad or chaotic situations as a right pavlova.
Is it not palaver? We used to say,
yeah, but
old people say palaver, but pavlova, that's a cake. Is that not like a...
It is, yeah.
Brilliant.
I like that. Which
Chris
became
Mangle's
a phrase
Nan is amazing.
Which became a phrase myself and my parents used to adopt. And finally, not a local saying, but a favour of mine is not my monkeys, not my circus. In other words, not my problem. A delightful expression.
NMP. That's the saying we have around here. NMP, not my problem.
There you go. Oh, brilliant stuff. Thanks for that, Chris. Really enjoyed that.
Amazing. There were some really good ones there.
It is. It's amazing with the time difference he manages to reach across to us from the other side of the world in the way he does. So I really appreciate it.
He works on Hulk Hogan time. That's why he's got an extra 35 days of the year.
Has he really? And he uses it to message us. So we're very appreciative. Chat Grapple and Cheap Pops at Chat Grapple Pops on Twitter. They say, "Turn it in, a true classic." Yeah,
we say. Turn it in's like, give it a rest.
Yeah, wind your neck in.
Yeah, wind your neck in. We don't particularly say that. It's like, for us, it would be like, give it a rest or shut up.
Well, there you go. There's one from Gloucester then. Wind your neck in. I say that all the time.
Mind.
See, that's a Bristol thing, I think, isn't it? But it does get said in Gloucester a great deal. But I think it's quite a Bristol thing, isn't it?
It's a southern thing.
Okay. The south is quite a wide area, though, isn't it? You think about it, when you look at a map of the UK, the UK goes up into not a point, but it goes like that because you've got the little foot bit of the UK, haven't you? What's that, Cornwall?
Yeah, Cornwall and Devon.
Yeah, and then you got right the other side of London that looks like the arse.
You've got the Heel.
Yeah.
Well, that's like Kent.
So that's all safe, right? That's wide.
Yeah.
That's quite a broad spectrum. But then the further north you go, the narrower it gets until you sort of bump it back out again for Scotland, don't you?
Yeah. It's like a pyramid. Like you have all the dossers and the layabouts on the bottom, and it goes up to the elite, which is us,
right?
us northerners. Yeah.
That's just the social class system in your own household. That's
yeah, pretty much.
Just very upstairs,
in my own
downstairs,
courtyard.
Yeah, the hired help living down in the cellar. Steve-O also says here, office extras and in-betweeners quotes are part of me, but this one is up there on a 20 times a day basis. Which one is it, Magsy? Because I forgot to check.
David, huh? David, huh? David, huh? David, huh?
I think it's just him saying,
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Steve also says, forget Vince Russo, but the amount of guys aged 21 or under that say bro is beyond parody. Or, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All I think about...
I hate that.
Yeah. All I think about when it's said is this scene from South Park, and he's included a clip of South Park there as well.
Yeah, I can't stand bro.
No.
Bro, oh, it's annoying. Absolutely annoying.
It's something you kind of say ironically at work. Oh, that's something that happens at my job, Magsy. Actually, I need to speak to you about this. It seems that I work in... I've got to be very careful what I say, obviously, because, you know, all the secrecy shit. But
yeah,
it seems I work somewhere that is a very bro-fist kind of area.
okay.
I'm watching everyone else walking by from different sections, different jobs, different machine shops, whatever. And every time they see someone, they bump fists and all that. I've never been in an environment like that before. I'm not quite sure how I feel.
Are you a fist bumper?
I am very much not a fist bumper.
So how do you make the first physical contact? Are you a handshaker? High-fiver?
I don't really think it's necessary to make any physical contact that often. A what?
Squeezer.
A squeezer?
Yeah.
What, just reach out and cup someone? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Oh.
No, I mean, it depends on the circumstances. If I was to sort of bump into... okay, say, for example, Dan Griffin. I've met Dan Griffin a couple of times, but it's only been... It's like a year will go in between each time. I see Dan, really good friends, we'll hug.
So you're a hugger?
First time, again, it depends.
So you made all that palaver. Oh, sorry,
no,
Pavlova.
No,
you made all that Pavlova.
Made all that Pavlova. No, but that's the thing. I'm not going to go around hugging blokes at work, am I? I'll get fucking thrown out.
Wow, if everyone's fist bumping, do you just go in and you say, I'm not a bumper, and get in with the big hug?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And I mean, if it's like a bit more of a formal situation, you have a handshake, don't you?
Yeah.
You know? If I was to ever meet you, for
I'm
example,
a handshaker.
If I was to ever meet you, for example, I imagine it'd be the start of the handshake, and it would be brought in for a hug look.
And a squeeze, yeah.
Yeah. But I wouldn't do that with everyone.
And a cuddle.
Yeah.
And stroke.
A little reach round.
It would be little.
Oh, dear me. Steve-O continues. As you can gather, you come across a lot of different people in London from all different backgrounds, and the common things they come out with has become part of my own language.
Yeah,
that's the multicultural kind of melting pot that some cities are, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's good because you're kind of learning the culture of the area that you're living in. You're integrating. You're blending in. So yeah, that's really cool.
There we go. We have another from Chris Mangle. You can see that I tried really, really hard to make sure they were in order this week, Mags, can't you?
You did.
I'm not going to lie. I sat down at 7:30, went to have a look and thought, do you know what? Fuck it.
I'll try and put them in order. Bollocks. Bollocks to
that. Chris says, and another my auntie used to say, okay, hang on. Narrowen?
As an expression of surprise, I have never heard that one.
Nah, Narrowen.
I think your auntie's made that up.
Like you're being shocked, like never when.
Yeah.
Is that
how you're shocked? He never went. Never went.
I don't know. I've never heard that. I don't get that at all. I guess it's a combination of never and when. Oh, okay. So if you're having it's not like an expression of surprise if somebody's like jumped out at you. You don't
it's
go,
whether
oh, never when.
Happy birthday.
Surprise, never when. No, this is like a conversational thing. So if you were to say something that I don't believe, you'd be like, oh, never when, like get away. What are you on about?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
You'd be like, bollocks. But she'd be like, never when. Mash it together. Never when.
More sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense now.
Another good one from Chris.
Yeah. Thank you for the time again, Chris. At Pigs Bladders on Twitter, he says, I had a huge row with my ex, who, when giving me directions, told me to go down the Twitchell. We've all been there, my friend. We've all been. It's okay.
And that's why she's an ex.
Yeah, go down the Twitchell. Don't worry about it, mate. A baby wiping some mouthwash after you'll be right as rain, okay? She didn't believe I had no clue what it meant. Turns out it is an alleyway. So bloody call it that. Yeah, but again, alleyways get called different things, don't they?
Yeah.
Depending on where
this
you
is
are
another thing that rocks up on TikTok semi-regular. So we would call that a ginnel. Like a small pathway between either two houses or something like that. We'd call that a ginnel. I've seen it called a snicket, twitchell. Oh yeah, it's a ginnel. What do you call it down in your parts? Cromwell Street.
Cromwell Street. Well, no, it's just an alley. Cromwell Street is an alley now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like the tea cake bread roll thing. Lots of people call it idiotic things and not ginnels.
See, you've said this before about it being called a ginnel. You can hear my cat meowing in the background now because my wife's bringing me a cup of tea.
Because she agrees it's a ginnel.
No, the cat's reacting because she likes my wife and doesn't like me very much.
And yet she chooses to spend a couple of hours every Tuesday with you.
Thank you, Sean. No, she just doesn't leave this room.
So she hates the fact that you're in there.
Oh, yeah, she's objecting a great deal. She is not amused with me doing this show in here.
You may have to move out.
But yeah, I've heard you say this before about an alleyway being called a ginnel.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone ever refer to it as that apart from you.
Well, I mean, doesn't mean I'm wrong. Just means everyone else is wrong instead.
Okie doke. At Pigs Bladders continues. Being Cornish, we've a few. Directly means I'll do it directly, as in later, eventually.
Sure, that means that sounds like directly, as in you'll do it now, not later.
But yeah, later on. Proper job, nice one, well done.
Okay, yeah.
Meansum, spell MEANSUM, equals my handsome, which is an affectionate term. Go on.
I knew this one. So I watch quite a lot of farming simulator. Yeah, well, that they don't call many people my answer on porn, but I watch a lot of farming simulator content, and a lot of people who role play that game are from Cornwall and Devon, and they're always calling each other me handsome in that. So I already knew what that one was.
All right, okay. Affectionate for male and female. So there we go. What's on? What's going on? It's a greeting. What's on?
Okay.
I imagine I'm saying that.
So like saying like, yeah, I'm all right.
What? Oh yeah, I'm all yeah. I can't imagine I'm not pronouncing that correctly.
What?
What's
yam?
On? No, yes on. What's on?
I'm assuming it's just what's on. So maybe it's what's on. It's like mashed together, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Hello, Henry. in the chat, popping in, saying hi, guys. Nice to see you. Pig's
Hello,
Bladders
sir.
also continues. There's loads more, as Cornwall has its own official recognised language.
Yep, they do. Cornish. Yes.
I'm going to butcher the shit out of this, and I imagine people have been waiting for this moment since this tweet came in. Gugas Ama an Hanau. Is that right, Maxie? That's about right, isn't it?
Why are you asking? I am like double the distance away from Cornwall that you are.
Okay. Apparently that translates to get your finger out of that chicken.
It's very concerning that they have a phrase in Cornwall specifically for telling people to stop fingering chickens.
Well, obviously, it was required. Well,
yeah, definitely.
Connor Knows Soccer at Connor Knows Footy on Twitter. He says, living in the southern US for almost 2 years, I've learned a few things that people say down here and have started using them with a little southern twine. Isn't twine string?
I think it means twang.
Twang. Okay, because twine. I'm gonna.
Twine is string.
I imagine him saying these sayings now with a little bit of string on his finger, just going ooh, like that. You know, that's what I imagine.
Well, that's for a different reason.
Yes, indeed. Cents equals cent. So your total comes to $2.50 rather than saying cents. I imagine that's just more of an irritating thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a lazy thing. It's one extra letter.
Shopping cart is a buggy. Go get me another buggy.
It's neither of them.
So
a buggy is a pram for a
it's
toddler.
A pushchair sort of effort. Yeah.
And a shopping cart is called a trolley.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you call it trolley down? See, that's when it's foreign slang. We come together as Brits. We're very patriotic like that. But when it's British slang, we get even closer patriot to the area that we live in.
It's like back in the 80s when the hooligan groups from up north and Millwall and whatnot would meet up on England duty and go and fight the foreigners. It's that kind of vibe.
Even though the week before they beat each other's teeth in.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Down here, this is Connor again. Down here, people call fizzy drinks, like soft drinks, soda instead of pop, which is what we call it. My co-workers always make fun of me for saying pop instead of soda. Now, soda is a very American term.
Yeah.
Pop is what my nan used to call fizzy drinks. But I've noticed I've started doing it myself. Yeah, I've noticed myself doing it recently.
What, calling it soda or pop?
No, pop. Yeah.
It is pop.
I got to get some pop for the kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Or when you go shop, pick us up a can of pop.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. But it sounds old.
Connor's right there.
Old, man.
It is old. But it's the perfect word for it. What else are you going to say? Soda. Soda is just the only time you would use soda is if you were one of the posh families who had a soda stream and you made your own pop.
Wow. Well, Magsy, we've got a soda stream.
Oh, look at you coming up in the world.
Right.
That's what you get, folks, when you work for the government. You get soda stream levels money.
Government. I don't work for the government. It's on the shelf.
Employee would say.
It's on the shelf to the left of my dartboard, and it's probably been there 5 years since it was last used. It's one of those things that you buy and think that'll be good. You use it once and then never touch it again.
Yeah, it is. It's a fad bar. Definitely a fad bar.
Do you remember?
It's cool for about a week, and then you think, I've got to change the gas, and I'm running out of syrup. I'll just go and buy a can of pop from shop. It's easier.
Yeah. Do you remember the little snowman that he used to get like the frosted drinks out of his belly? Do you remember that?
I did. Mr. Frosty, yeah.
Mr. Frost. Oh, I never had one of them. I want one of them.
You want one?
Yeah.
At your big age now, you want Mr. Frosty.
100%. I want a Mr. Frosty. That's not like Sharon. I just said that's not like a Christmas present level sort of
You
thing.
see,
You're getting away with Mr. Frosty.
Sharon is writing this down right now. I've learned that from about July to Christmas, never say that you're interested in something, because that is what you are getting for a Christmas present. That will be remembered. You're getting a Mr. Frosty for Christmas.
I'm very, very interested in Jenna Coleman. How's that work? You're going to work that one out? Connor continues. Last one is more of an insult, but they're about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. Fair enough.
Yeah, up here we'd say as much use as a chocolate fire guard.
Yeah. Chocolate teapot, we see down here.
Yeah, well, you would do, wouldn't you?
What the all right. We're back to that, are we? Okay. It was nice when we came together, but now we're back to that.
Sharon has said in the chat, breaking news, we'll get a Mr. Frosty for the baby.
For the
Wink.
baby, yeah.
And the
like
baby
rusks,
is you.
Like those rusks were for the baby. Yeah, okay.
Oh, Mrs. Maggs loves rusks, you know. Anytime there's like a reason for her to buy some rusks for like the grandkids, they might get 1 or 2 out of the packet. Lorraine will probably get about 6 or 7.
She add like the water or the milk or whatever and mush it up though, or just eat it as a biscuit.
Hot milk, yeah.
Oh, see, I just eat it as a biscuit, man.
That'd be like eating genuine dust.
No, it does no, because it's not just dust, is it? It's a fucking biscuit thing.
It'd be like chomping a Weetabix. Just every like molecule of liquid in your mouth just sucked in, and then you're just chewing on powder.
It's an ongoing thing for me, though. My nephew is 25 now. Sharon will have to tell me in the chat. I can't really remember. I think he's 25 now. But my sister lived with my mum and dad when he was first born, and I was back there as well. She used to have to hide the rusks because I'd come in drunk and eat them.
The baby doesn't need these. Nom, 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 nom.
And here we are, a quarter of a century later, with our first grandchild, and Sharon has to do the same thing. And we went through the same thing with Charlie as well. She had to hide the rusks because I'd have a few beers and be like, "Ooh, rusk."
not ooh chips or ooh burger or ooh toaster. Ooh rusks.
Yeah, well, you're a bit I'm not quite finished drinking yet, but you're a bit peckish, so you don't want to meal.
You need to soak up the gallons of liquid in your stomach.
Yeah.
Eat a rusk and it's all gone.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, sobers you up straight away, mate. You could drive a car after a rusk. Yeah. Just to make that clear, you cannot. Don't take my word for that, anyone. If that pops up in
if you get breathalyzed for rusk, you're fucked. That's 5 years ban minimum.
Do you remember they brought out the different flavors? The chocolate rusk, banana rusk, and all that?
No, because I never, as an adult, ate them.
Oh,
because they're a kid thing. No, there's such a delicacy that Farley's rusks should not just be limited to the kids that they were designed for.
Exactly. There you go. A lot of stuff kids get is shit. Like the mushy food and whatever that's got no salt in it. That's crap, that is. But a rusk, crack on, mate. Well worth it. Anyway, MGB Graham again, at MGB Graham, he says, I did my teacher training in Cornwall. When the teacher who I was observing was asking the attendants, a student was missing. That's when I learned the phrase, where's he to?
That's a Welsh thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. But obviously they say it in Cornwall too.
Well,
but I suppose it's not that far, is it,
Wales
to Cornwall?
Yeah. Well, I suppose
Fantastic.
if you're at the top of Wales, it's quite a distance.
Oh yeah.
But if you're like South Wales, like sheep shagging territory, then yeah, it's quite close.
North Wales, you know they got like no fucking motorways. Yeah,
that's like Liverpool overspill.
Yeah, it's like just fucking fields and then just random houses. It's surreal.
Yeah, and they have little pockets of villages.
Mm.
But yeah, there's no big roads in Wales. It's pretty hard to get anywhere in North Wales.
me and Shah went to a music festival right at the top end of North Wales. Just booked the tickets and thought that lineup looks really good. Didn't think it through. Started driving. It's 4.5 fucking hours of just like it's like entering the village from, or it's like something from The Walking Dead. It's
so
like,
we went to Wales last year, and the last time you see a motorway is actually in Liverpool, and then it's literally all just back roads all the way through. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Some of them don't even have like markings or curbs on. They're just like
and they have
thrown down on the mud.
And a lot of them said Arif on the road, which I think they can't spell there. But caused a lot of traffic problems. We got hit into a few times.
Is that right? What does Arif mean, Maxie? Stop.
I think it means stop, yeah.
Okay. Dan Griffin at Dan Griffin 21 on Twitter. He says, General Yorkshire saying, but using be reet. Both when it will in fact be all right or when something is irreparably fact, but we'll work it out. Either way, be reet.
It'll be right.
Picked up a phrase.
Here we wouldn't say reet, we'd say it'll be right.
Yes, indeed. Picked up a phrase from my granddad. When asked how he is, he replies, not so dusty, well brushed. Don't know why.
Wow. What the fuck does that mean? I won't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Not so dusty.
Did he then say nobody wins?
What?
It's a dusty finish. Nobody wins. Baby.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I was lost then. Sorry. And finally, unless I've missed any, in which case you have to give me a shout, Magsy. But finally, we have Mr. Matt Lewis via WhatsApp. We have
missed one. If you want to leave Matt till last, we can quickly miss one. It's Chain Wrestling's favorite American. Sorry, Connor. Jimmy Evans at Jimmy Evans for real. And he's put more than one word. He's actually gone in deep in this, so he's put slap, which sounds like a plan. So that's a Jimmy Evans related saying there. Thanks for that, Jimmy.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you, Jimmy. Matt Lewis says, here's my non-wrestling topic. There's a phrase I've used in D&D, and I've always thought it was a legit phrase.
Nerd alert.
We should have a little klaxon or something. I could probably make one.
A klaxon for Clacton.
Hey, that's good. I like that. A phrase in D&D, I've always thought it was a legit phrase until I was told by every member of the Dungeon and Junkies team that I was wrong and it wasn't a phrase. When you roll a group of dice, sometimes you get them land on each other or against each other and they need to be re-rolled. The term for this is the dice is cocked. However, I've always used the term it's on the cock.
Now, Matt, we've spoken about this.
Yes.
Stop shagging Darce. It's not good for you.
It's not. I'm sure I've heard that phrase used in this context elsewhere, but can't recall where. Mags, I can already hear you suggesting I heard it in porn. Behave yourself, your lordship, he says.
Yes. It's got to be that, hasn't it? It's got to be that.
Of course it has.
But then again, it does play D&D, so those two worlds are polar opposites, aren't they?
What, porn and D&D?
Yeah. It's like cool and nerdy. And never the twain shall meet.
Did you just describe porn as cool? Just to clarify this.
In this context, it's would you want to play D&D or crack off some knuckle children? Which is the coolest one of those?
And I'll let everyone in the CWF decide for themselves. Thank you so much, everyone, for reaching out on Twitter to the show and, of course, joining us in the chat. Magsy, do you have any that are specific to, Burnley or even just yourself? Do you have any sayings that you say that,
No, we speak the Queen's English round these ends.
Is that right?
Yeah. I can't really think of any that... Because it's what I speak, it doesn't sound weird to me. So I'm actually going to look up some Lancashire slang. But do you have any down your end?
I've got a few things that I say that my own family tell me is weird. I've got a habit of saying "catch you later, Bill and Ted" whenever I leave for work, like in the movie when they say "catch you later, Bill and Ted."
That's not so much a regional thing. That's something that you've heard and it's just drilled into your head.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. But it's only me and my sister that do it. But yeah, very
right.
Odd,
So I've got a list of apparent Lancashire slang. Yeah, and some of these I say, and they now reading them makes more sense than actually saying them. So first one is one that's got mentioned in the chat. I think it was by Sharon. She says council pop. Well, we call that's corporation pop. We call that tap water. That's one we use. Put wood in thall. That's one that I use. That means close the door. You put the wood in the hall.
Oh.
Scran. That's one we use as well. That means food.
Yeah.
Skenning. That's when you're looking at something. So that if you're like argumentative, you might say what you're skenning at. And that means who do you think you're looking at? Muppet. Do you? I mean, that's going to be a general one, wouldn't it? A up cocker. Yeah, we do use that quite a lot.
Incredibly northern, that is.
Well, cocker. Yeah. So, and then knocking the th off the word with to just say with. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do have a lot of northernness in me. Yeah, I'm ashamed.
Sharon's put something in the chat there that I say as well. But it's givivna instead of vinegar.
It's you say what?
Givivna.
Do you not mean vigina?
Instead of vinegar, I say salt and givivna.
Why do you say givivna? Where's the? It's vigina or vinegar.
When my kid brother was very little, that's how he would try and say vinegar, and it just kind of got copied. And I can't say vinegar now. Whenever I try and say salt and vinegar, it comes out salt and givivna.
Okay.
And that's all I have. Oh, silly things as well, like give your head a wobble, wind your neck in, all that sort of stuff. That's kind of standard. And obviously, I call a bread roll because we are correct.
I mean, it is a bread. Yeah, but we call it a bread roll as well. If you went to a baker's and said, "Can I have some bread rolls?" in Burnley, you would get some bread rolls. But if you said, "Can I have some tea cakes?" you would also get them. If you said, "Can I have some batch?" or "Can I have some cob?" or "balm?" they'd look at you funny and probably ring the police.
So if you walked into a bakery in Burnley and said, "Can I have some tea cakes?" they just palm you off with some fucking bread rolls. That's bullshit.
No, because if you want tea cakes with currants in, you say some currant tea cakes.
I'm not getting down this road again. We've covered this and you're fucking wrong. End of. You're wrong. Shall we scan through the chat very quickly and see what people have been saying?
We shall. There's been quite a lot. Let's go back up to this one. Brilliant. Sharon's mum slaps her if she says it in front of her, and by it she means cunt, obviously. So definitely don't say cunt in front of your mum, Sharon, because you'll get yourself a slap. Connor in the chat says, just wanted to pop in and say hello. When he's currently avoiding his job in the bathroom, we'll catch up on demand. Well, I hope you enjoy on demand, sir. Thanks for tuning in. Matt says, both sectors was a little bit racist in the same way Hitler was a little bit nasty. Yeah, but good artist though. Can't not give him that.
For God.
Matt then says he's met Trisha 3 times. She was a top lash, but did she kiss her teeth? Like, I can't even do it. Mrs. Mags can do it really well, and I've never been able to do it. Harley Memphis says, can't get my hat around that means sorry, I don't understand. Like, what you're going on about? I just don't make sense. Yeah.
I can't get my hat around that.
Inception slang. Matt says Esperanto was a language that was meant to be universal like the Euro. It was a thing in the 80s and 90s. Red Dwarf referenced it, and Rimmer claimed to be fluent until Crichton corrected him.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And then Matt says his best day. Kerry says, not my circus, not my monkeys all the time. Yeah, I mean, I think I've heard that saying, but yeah, we just say NMP. Then you're getting mocked for saying the little foot bit, like the little toe on the end of Britain. Britain's like hangnail,
scabby little toenail.
Yeah. Matt says that's like calling Norfolk the red-headed stepchild. Technically accurate, but yeah. What Norfolk's? Who called Norfolk the red-headed stepchild?
No, I think I called Norfolk like the arse, didn't I?
No, is that not Kent?
I don't know.
Yeah, because
big round bumpy bit.
Is that Norfolk? Man, you suppose it's part Norfolk and part Kent, isn't it?
Right, what's in Norfolk? That's Norwich and Ipswich and places
like
that.
So it is. It's right, that's at like the top of the arse. That's at the top of the arse, and then you've got Kent, which is like.
Fuck me, the top of the arse. What's that gesture with your arm there? What, the top of the arse? You're doing this? What? Could Great Britain star in an R&B video or something with an arse like that? Fucking hell!
She's thick. Great Britain is thick. Sharon says, "Council pop, is that a southern thing?" And then Matt, "What's council pop? You call me posh." He doesn't even know what council pop is, so he gets ridiculed by Sharon for that. And he's. I assume you meant cheap soda. So he doesn't know what council pop is and then calls it soda. What a... Oh.
Max is really cross.
No, it's tap water. Matt says, reach around, also called the rusty trombone. No, is the rusty trombone not that? Oh, no, that's the rusty fish hook, isn't it? I mean, Matt would be my go-to person for nicknames of sexual position, so fair enough. Matt calls it Peckham Springwater, apparently.
It's from an episode of Only Fools, isn't it?
Yeah. Matt says a Ginnell is a back alley. Something he knows a thing or two about. Amazing.
Brilliant.
Matt says he had an ex from Cornwall. I can't say what I'll call him now. Cunt.
Brilliant. Really subtly done, Magsy. No one will notice.
Pigsbladder says that I was the closest with like Warson rather than you absolutely butchering it.
Yeah.
Butchering it.
I knew I would. I knew I'd butcher it. Apologies.
Matt trying to stir up trouble here, saying Pigsbladders, apparently you're from the little foot bit of England. I mean, it's not like it.
It's what it looks like.
And the Pigsbladder says they don't technically have a saying to stop people from fingering poultry. He said it's just a language, and you can use it to make any sentence. That's how language.
So you don't go to Cornwall and like, say for example, you go to Traco Bay and there's "I love Traco Bay" t-shirts. You go to Cornwall, there's "Stop fingering the chicken" t-shirts or anything like that.
I bet this saying. I bet it is. I think it is.
I want one. I'd buy one. In fact, fuck it. We've got our own merch store. I'll make one.
Yeah. I want to finger a chicken or stop fingering chickens.
You've got a very clear definition between one side or the other, though, Mag. So you can't chop and change your mind.
You've got to be on either side of the coin. So you're going to have to do 2 t-shirts. One for, like, it's a bit like yeet and no yeet. You have a yeet on
finger.
You have a finger or no finger.
Yeah.
Matt showing how posh he is. Says he currently has a soda stream. used it for a month and then not since. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that,
every
innit?
soda stream gets
Yeah.
about at maximum 2 months worth of use. As soon as the first gas bottle runs out, people realise that they can't be arsed. And
it's not as nice. It's not as nice as a bottle of pop from the.
It's only good for experimenting as well, seeing what other things you can make fizzy.
Like gravy.
Or milk.
Oh, fizzy milk. That's interesting. I bet that's not. So I'm a big milk drinker, but I don't know about fizzy milk. That'd be a bit.
Yeah, that sounds grim. I regretted saying it. That sounds like it would curdle in your stomach and come straight back up.
I'd give fizzy gravy a go though.
Bubbling away on your chips.
Yeah, no, just like a cup of it or something. Just see what it's like.
Like fizzy Bovril.
Yeah, fizzy Bovril. Yeah, I'll give that a go.
That's.
I should love a cup of Bovril at the football.
No, I mean that fizzy though, like opening a can of cold fizzy Bovril.
Well, why would it be cold? Why would it be cold? Surely it'd still be warm.
So you would attempt to put carbon dioxide bubbles into hot gravy. Do you not think that might explode?
Well, I just assumed we were talking because we're talking gravy. I just assumed it would. Why would it be cold? It's gravy.
Have you ever put any hot liquid into a soda stream?
No.
Right. So heat mixed with carbon dioxide usually makes explosions because the gas expands because of the heat.
Yeah. Okay.
And it goes everywhere.
Well, if it expands, because you just make the gravy a bit thicker, couldn't you?
You're a dick. You're a dick. Sharon says Lemmy has come in without a collar again.
Fucking cat, man. Okay. Well, we'll get him a new one.
Does Lemmy regularly
all the time
rock around collarless?
All the time. He's a jackass. But there's so many.
Do you not have a bell on him as well?
Yeah, we have a bell on him.
That's why he gets rid of it.
If he doesn't have a collar on, he looks like a stray. And people pick strays up around here and walk off of them and shit. So we got to put a collar on him. You know?
Is that like a cheese rolling thing?
No, it's it's literally a Gloucester thing, a reindeer thing.
What, there's cat nicking? People who steal cats.
People lose their cats all the time as well. I noticed it today on the walk. My walk to work is about between 15 and 20 minutes. I must have seen 5 different posters for different missing cats. What the fuck is going on in Gloucester? It's not a big catchment area I walk through.
Maybe people are eating cats.
Maybe they're putting them in soda streams with gravy.
Bubbly cats.
Bubbly cats.
Get busy with the fizzy.
But you get annoyed with a bubbly cat. You get annoyed with a bubbly cat, though, wouldn't you? Because they're selling you.
I would kick that bubbly cat.
Because it's got space in it. It's not full of cat bits. There's random holes where the bubbles are.
Yeah, just. I mean, if I was paying for it, I would be more annoyed.
Right.
I would just tolerate it if it was like free.
Okay. Is there a big market for bubbly cats in Burnley?
I don't know, but I'm definitely now I'm not taking a cat to Gloucester because the cat will never return. Anyway, let's get back to the chat.
That's a funny statement to make in itself. I'm not taking no cat to Gloucester. Well, did you have plans previously to do that?
No, but you never know.
In a little box and watch the cheese roll with it or something. Maybe nip across down the Golden Valley bypass and go to Shelton Benjamin.
Come on, Nova. Let's go and let's take you out for a day out in Gloucester. Nova, where have you gone? And then she's in somebody else's house.
In their soda stream.
So, according to Matt, where you're to is very much a Cornish thing. And Pigs Banner says, no, it's a Celtic thing. I nearly said Celtic, but it said Celtic. Sharon says, you won the ticket.
Oh, yeah, to Wales. Yeah, that's what we won the tickets to that festival, yeah.
And then she says, Araf means slow. Maybe that was the problem then. I assumed it was stop and people were crashing into the back of me.
Yeah, he just stopped randomly, yeah.
Matt trying to make D&D cool says he once ran a game of D&D where the player spent an hour in a brothel. And that just shows how nerdy D&D is, because you tried to be cool by having your people in a brothel, but you only stayed in that brothel for an hour. So you just, even when you're trying to be cool, you don't just manage it. Wow. And Matt says Senegal are now beating England. Thomas Tuchel out, Rooney in. What? Rooney in, though?
Rooney in. I give your head a wobble, mate.
I cannot get
Really?
my hat around thinking Rooney.
I cannot get my hat. Yeah. What a pavlova.
Sharon says, I can't remember the word Charlie used to say wrong. We used to say it all the time, but my old brain has forgot. So I love it when kids say words wrong. It's so hilarious. My daughter used to always say biscotti instead of spaghetti. And
brilliant.
even till she was like 10-year-old, she would say biscotti because it was just like woven into her.
Yeah. And of course, other people start repeating it back.
Yeah. So every now and again, it'll get called biscotti. Sharon said disgusting. That's it.
We still say it now in the house. We still say it now. That's disgusting.
Sharon said she might go fizz up some cow juice for you. I think you should do that now, Sharon, and bring it up and Sark can tell us what fizzy milk tastes like.
Is that soda? It probably just tastes like milk, Max, to be fair. It doesn't change the taste, does it? It just makes it fizzy.
Oh, no. Carbon dioxide does change the taste. Have you ever drunk? Have you never had some water and then put soda stream fizz into it and then taste it?
Yeah, you're right.
It tastes
fizzy
metallic.
Water tastes different. Yeah, fizzy water tastes different. Yeah. I don't know why anyone would buy fizzy water. What's the point? Just to drink as water.
Yeah, flavourless. Yeah, if it's like flavoured, like say lemon flavour or strawberry flavour, that's not too bad. But yeah, I get what your point. Sharon says they're being caught and used for dog farting. Hate to say it, but it's true. What the cats are, that is awful. A cat would never fart a dog.
No,
it never win. Yeah, that's horrific.
It's a horrible situation. Yeah, it's grim as fuck. It's quite scary.
Thanks for bringing the mood down, Sharon. I mean, we were only discussing eating and maybe blowing them up like a cat balloon. But you had to bring us back down to reality with that. Thanks. Anyway, that's the chat all caught up.
Yeah, a bit depressing. Magsy, we better talk some wrestling, aren't we?
This old shower shark match.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I won a poll. Yay! First time in a long time.
I mean, if you count the amount of episodes, it's not that long.
No, probably not.
It's just the time-wise, because you've scarved a lot, haven't you?
Well, it was frustrating because we got level, didn't we, on the overall poll thing? We got level, and I thought, because I've not been ahead for like ever, and we got level.
Since maybe episode 2.
Yeah, exactly. But then you pulled away again, so yeah, it just felt like a lot. But
you're slowly catching up again with this one. Well, this is just roll. What? This is the start of a roll for you.
I hope so.
I believe
so, I have got a banger of a link as well, but we'll get to that shortly. I won a poll with a match that is, well, one half of the contestants being Shawn Michaels, of course, one of the greatest of all fucking time, taking on Shelton Benjamin on the. Don't pull that face, Maxie. Don't start me off on this because I just go off on one.
Is he on people's Mount Rushmore?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I mean other people, not you.
Yes. You literally did a show about it, and Shawn Michaels ranked really highly on everyone's Mount Rushmores.
Yeah, I suppose.
Brilliant. This was the 2nd of, I want to say May.
Yeah. 2005.
2nd of May. 2005 episode of Raw. Shelton Benjamin takes on Shawn Michaels in a Gold Rush tournament match. Now, everyone remembers the finish to this match because it's replayed over and over and over again. It was one point, it was part of the intro to Raw.
Yeah,
wasn't it? You know, it was stitched into that, which is obviously quite iconic as well. So,
and it's been parodied throughout wrestling ever since. People have tried to one up the finish, and many people have, but this is still such an iconic finish. But I think it takes away from just how fucking good this match is.
well, yeah, that was kind of why I wanted to go back and look at this, because I was guilty of it myself, Maxie. I was a big Shawn Michaels fan, sat here in a rather cheesy-looking 90s Shawn Michaels t-shirt. I read this match is really good. People forget how good it is because they remember the finish. And I was like, well, all I remember is the finish.
Yeah.
So that's why I put it forward. And I'm so glad I did, because holy shit, this is a bit of a sleeper, isn't it? This is a bit of a TV classic.
I would call this a hidden gem. It's, I mean, I vaguely remembered the match. I definitely remembered the finish because, like I said, we've seen that ad nauseum. But I vaguely remember the match being pretty good. Watching it back, it's better than pretty good. It's fucking amazing. Such a good match.
Really
it's
good,
such a good match. And it's not just the in-ring stuff. There's like almost a little story going on in the match with maybe Shawn Michaels not respecting Shelton Benjamin as much as he should, not kind of appreciating Shelton Benjamin's amateur background and trying to like one up him. And then by the end of the match, he's got the respect, kind of like Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy when Jeff Hardy took an absolute beating, and at the end Undertaker was like, "Yeah, this guy deserves the rub." We kind of get that at the end of this match.
Yeah. We begin as well. Obviously, the format of this, I again totally forgot about this, but the format was that you didn't know who your opponent was until they came out.
Mm-hmm.
So Shelton Benjamin is unaware he's wrestling Shawn Michaels. The commentators act like they're unaware, and Jim Ross goes absolutely crazy for Shawn's
Oh my
entrance.
God! It's the living legend Shawn Michaels back bowed.
Yeah, and he says that this is going to be special. And my word, is he correct? We begin with wrestling, Magsy. There's actual wrestling. We go hold for a little while. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and again, it's almost starts with Shawn Michaels trying to downplay or maybe mock Shelton Benjamin's amateur background, because Shawn Michaels does the very kind of amateur wrestling takedowns and trying to hold the Shelton down, and then when Shelton is able to counter and get control, you can see the panic in Shawn Michaels' eyes that he's biting off a little bit more than he can chew, and he's scrambling to get to the ropes, and it's a really well told little story in a match that has been sprung up out of nothing. I thought it was very, very well done by both guys.
I think Shawn. We have occasions we're well aware of that Shawn can be a prick, an oversell or undersell or whatever. Here, I think he sells everything pretty much spot on. And we get a bit of the old Ricky Morton's from him as well. I think the amount of selling he does just with his face. So when you talk about getting to the ropes and he wants the ref to get Shelton off him because he can't handle Shelton Benjamin's actual mat-based style, the desperation in his eyes when he's yelling at the referee to get him off me, adds
and it's the
an extra layer to that story, doesn't it?
It's the rare smiles and the smug looks he gives Shelton, as if he doesn't respect Shelton's technical ability. But as we get further into the match, those looks turn into looks of respect when Shelton is matching him beat for beat, and he's able to do pretty much everything that Shawn Michaels is able to do. You can see the kind of atmosphere change, and Shawn realizing that this isn't just some fly-by-night punk wrestler. This guy has got some genuine talent.
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed the arm drags spot as well. Really deep, proper spin over arm drags, Ricky Steamboat style, as Jim Ross says on commentary. And then Shelton Benjamin goes for another one, and Shawn backs off. But it's not Shelton Benjamin looking silly for not grabbing the final arm drag. Shawn Michaels sells it as he is frustrated because he can't stop getting arm dragged.
Yeah.
So again, it adds to that frustration and taking it for granted again, Magsy, doesn't it?
Yeah, we get quite a few times where you'll get a sequence of chain wrestling, and then we get a standoff where Shawn is each time is slowly realizing more and more that Shelton isn't beneath him, that Shelton may well be his equal, and you can see Shawn realizing that, and it's just so well done. Shawn on his day, he's so good at telling a story. It's clinical.
Both fall to the outside after Shelton Benjamin clothesline, but then we go to an ad break, sadly. But it does break the momentum of what we're watching, which is unusual. Sometimes that does take away from some of these matches that we watch on YouTube or the network or wherever we may be watching them. It doesn't stall it or anything, Maxie, does it?
No, I think that the two wrestle at such a well-maintained pace that you just don't feel like you're going to miss anything. I won't say important, but you know that the finish is nowhere near. That these have got a lot more to go in the tank. That I think the match was really well put together. And for a 15-minute match, it absolutely flies by. And with these two, this could have easily turned into a spot fest match. And you do get quite a few big spots. I mean, like the finish is what is one of the most infamous. But I think they balance it perfectly well with getting the high spots in, as well as showing off the technical ability of both guys. It's a really well balanced match.
The high spots that they do. I mean, in the match is paced so well, as you mentioned, and the high spots come out more and more as we approach the finish, and the guys
as it should, as
it should, yeah. You get people in kayfabe storyline wise, the guys are getting more tired, so there's a chance for their opponents to use more high spots, or they're getting more desperate, so they are using more high spots themselves, and so on. That's
more
how
risky
the story
maneuvers.
goes. Yeah, of course. So each high spot makes sense. Nothing seems out of place, regardless of how extravagant it is. Again, AEW, take fucking note. We get a top rope suplex counter by Shelton Benjamin, which ends up with Shawn Michaels hitting the mat and then Shelton landing nearly on his head, which looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Followed up by a really nasty looking Samoan drop by Shelton Benjamin as well. It looks so crisp and sharp and excellent. Then we get the Shawn Michaels flying forearm, and then both lie there for ages. Oh, I love this, Magsy. This was fantastic.
Yeah. Because you know what's coming. You know that Shawn's going to do what Shawn does. But what you don't expect, and it's something I've already mentioned, that Shelton is going to match Shawn beat for beat. And when
it's brilliant.
Shawn does the kip up, and he's getting ready to tune up the band, then Shelton does the kip up and turns to face him, and Shawn is he's blown away by the fact that Shelton is keeping up with him pace for pace, and Shawn's starting to realize that this guy is legit.
It's so good. It's so good. The pace has really picked up now as we sort of come towards the end of the contest. Shawn misses a super kick attempt. Shelton Benjamin goes for a super kick of his own, which gets caught, and then he gets his leg thrown away. But he then turns into a spin kick, which nails Shawn for a very close 2 count.
That's the dragon whip, I think they call it, don't they?
Okay. Yeah, real close 2 count. The crowd by this point are just well into this. They've got them, haven't they? Both these guys have got them in the palm of their hand.
they started very pro HBK, but by the time you get to this point, both wrestlers are getting massive props for pretty much everything they do. That dragon whip, you could. I mean, I know it's they do the leg slap and stuff like that, but the timing of the noise with the contact, it looked like he took Shawn Michaels' head clean off. It was brilliant.
Shawn goes for his top rope elbow drop, and again, it's a sign of the times, Mags, isn't it? Even it was 20 years ago now, isn't it? I suppose. Shawn goes for his top rope elbow drop, and you're almost waiting for the flash bulbs to go off. And it happens, of course, and it's quite when we used to get that, the top rope moves and all the flash bulbs would go off everyone's cameras and all that. It's brilliant, fantastic.
And again, when you mentioned about selling earlier, Shelton's selling of this elbow, absolutely superb. It kind of skirted the line between selling just enough and overselling, but if someone forced their elbow into your chest from a jump, you would genuinely feel loads of pain, and he's really selling the hurt in his chest. I thought he did really well.
Yeah, there you go. Shelton does springboard up onto the top rope and fly back, and so
fucking
good. Unbelievable!
A spinning clothesline. He genuinely just jumps from the ring to the top rope, and whilst not even fully balanced, because he's still leaning backwards, he's able to turn in midair and land a clothesline. Oh my god, fucking hell! Shelton Benjamin was something else, weren't he? I mean, he still is. Absolutely, he still is. But yeah, he was just so good.
But we're coming to that moment now, I suppose, that people remember. And I implore everyone listening to the show on the podcast version or joining us live right now, if you haven't seen this match since it aired or haven't seen this match for a very long time, go and check it out. It's on the WWE Vault YouTube channel. We've retweeted it on our X account here at @Chain_Wrestling as well. It's well worth 50 minutes of your time. Go and check this out, because it's not just about this finish. It's a real hidden gem, as Maxie put so wonderfully. Shelton Benjamin, Shawn Michaels tries to throw him over the top rope. He goes over the top rope but lands on the apron. Shawn staggers away. We get the line from Jerry Lawler of, "He's not gone, Shawn, he's still there." And as Shawn turns round all groggy and unsure what's going on, Shelton Benjamin leaps to the top rope to springboard into the ring, and he is met midair, perfectly timed, with Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music super kick finisher for the 3 count. Just why? Holy fucking shit! Why?
I mean, I've mentioned that this has been kind of like parodied and bettered in recent times, but in 2005, this was mind blowing. The timing was. It had to be perfect, or else it would have looked ridiculous. And it was absolutely perfect. Shawn gets the win, and he acknowledges to Shelton that you almost had me there, kid. Gives him a little pat on his chest, and it's the story is kind of showing that Shelton was almost the best wrestler in that match, but his inexperience is what cost him. Him wanting to be technically better than Shawn Michaels is what cost him the match, because Shawn reverted to something old and classic to get the win, which was the Sweet Chin Music, and pulled it out of his locker. Benjamin had this match won, and he basically threw it away, and it's just such a brilliantly told story for a match that was put together on the fly. I thought that it's superb. It's absolutely superb.
Well, from there then, Magsy, let's go for it. Out of 10, and your final thoughts. What are you thinking?
It's a match that you could easily watch over and over again and just be mind blown. The only reason I'm not going to give it a 10 is because this should have been on a pay-per-view. This should have been a bigger setting than what it was.
Is that their fault though? I mean, we can only rate
I get that. But this match should have elevated Shelton Benjamin to world champion level. I look back at how good Shelton Benjamin was, and it's hard to understand how he was never in the mix for world titles. He was just that damn good. But it's a fucking brilliant match. I'm going to give it a 9.5. I don't think I can just give it a 10, but 9.5.
Yeah, okay. See. Do you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to do it. It's a 10 for me. I think it's that good. I think it's that good. I could go back and watch it now, and it's one of those things where it's only 13, 14 minutes long.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a very easy watch. Very easy.
With some other matches, I've marked them down because it hasn't gone on long enough. This here, it's like they've got that small amount of time, and they don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. They still make it that good.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about the high spots at the end and the super kick finish, which is just fucking insane. It deserves extra points for that finish alone. It's incredible. But you see Shelton Benjamin's springboard to the top rope and jump back off, like we explained, and all that. And the Samoan drop was beautiful. But you go right back to the beginning of the match, and the mat-based stuff that probably kind of gets overlooked because it's not as flashy as what we see at the end of the match.
Mm-hmm.
That's crisp. It's brilliant. It tells a story. It's as close to a perfect 14-minute wrestling match as you're going to find. I think it's that good. And Jim Ross on commentary, by the way. Again, I'm a huge Jim Ross fan. I know I'm biased because Jim Ross is one of my favorite. I think he's the greatest pro wrestling commentator of all time. Jim Ross on commentary does exactly what a good commentator does. He gets both guys over. He tells the story himself via his commentary. He gets excited when he should. He just adds to the product, which, again, a good commentator should. I don't think there's anything you can do to massively improve on this.
And as much as it grinds my gears, I think you've got to give props to Jerry Lawler as well. I think he can sometimes take away from a match with his attempts to be funny or edgy, but even he is fawning all over this match, and his elements really add to the match. So I think you can both Jim and Jerry add to this match. If you want to know just how good this match was, there's a guy in the front row, and he's dressed like Hulk Hogan.
Oh yes,
and his reactions to this match shows just how good it was, because he is blown away by it, and especially with the finish, he's absolutely blown away. So if a Hulk Hogan fan can love this match, everybody should love this match.
There we go. That's the highest we've given anything in a very long time.
Well, we have watched a lot of shite.
We have watched a lot of shite. But I'm intrigued now, Magsy, to know, are we going to watch shite again next week, or are we going to watch some more good wrestling next week? Because, as is the nature of the show, we'll use this match to link to what we could potentially be watching next week. Magsy, what is your option for our poll?
So, your intro actually kind of telegraphed what I'm going with when you called me the Charlie Horse to your Shelton Benjamin. Because I thought we'd look at the best world's greatest tag team matches. Now, the top 2 or 3 involve a certain double murder suicide guy, so I didn't really want to kind of watch them. So I went with I think it's the 3rd highest, and Shagger Dave gives it a 4-star. It's from Vengeance 2003, and it's the world's greatest tag team defending their titles against Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio. Now, as soon as I saw those two names, this can't possibly be a bad match, can it? I mean, you've got Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, who are amazing tag team together, but
Fantastic.
Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio together in 2003, this has got to be badass, hasn't it?
Yeah. I reckon that's got to be brilliant. I reckon it has to be brilliant, yeah. So that's Vengeance 2003, yes?
Vengeance 2003, yeah.
And we've not had any World's Greatest Tag Team matches.
No.
I think barring maybe Raw Rumbles, I don't think we've looked at anything that involves Charlie Haas and maybe even anything that involves Billy Kidman.
No, I don't think. I mean, we might have touched on something in WCW, maybe, but yeah, it's definitely a match that I'm interested to watch again. And if I don't win the poll, I'll probably end up watching it anyway.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. I have two ways I can link to this match. The first one being it's Monday Night Raw. So the match we just watched was on Monday Night Raw. The match I'm linking to was on Monday Night Raw. And the second thing being one of the greatest of all time, Shawn Michaels. He's in this match as well. I want to watch more Shawn. I just thought, fuck it. I enjoyed this so much. I want to watch more Shawn Michaels.
I think we've watched enough Shawn Michaels.
No, never. I think I've put forward this match before. I think you may have put forward this match once before as well, Max. I have to go back and check it out. But I definitely have. And it didn't win the poll because whatever it was up against was fucking fantastic. So it missed out. I would like to go to the 23rd of April, 2007. And the Monday Night Raw that was held at Earl's Court in London. And a WrestleMania rematch between Shawn Michaels and John Cena, which many online has referred to as one of the greatest matches in Monday Night Raw history.
Yeah.
And they give them nearly an hour. Now, obviously, we take out the ad breaks on it's on YouTube, it's on Daily Motion, it's available everywhere. It's on the Vault on WWE YouTube channel. They take out the ad breaks, of course. So to watch it back is more like 45 minutes. But in actual time, they go nearly an hour.
Yeah.
And I remember it being incredible watching it when it first happened. And I don't think I've ever gone back and seen it. Like I said, I put it up on the poll before and I didn't win. But I want to go back and check this out because apparently John Cena had a hangover on this particular day. And Shawn really wanted to test him. And he stood well and his stamina lasted because, that's fair play, Cena can go. So, yeah, that's my option for the poll. So, it's, a lot of people call one of the greatest matches in Raw history. So, be interesting to see.
That would be. So, two stellar matches. Looks like we're going on a run of watching good wrestling for a little while.
We'll change that next week. Those are your options on the poll. We can head to Vengeance 2003 and check out the world's greatest tag team of Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas defending their tag team titles against Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio in what is sure to be a high-flying, crazy, brilliant tag team contest. Or we can go to the 23rd of April episode of Raw from 2007 from London, England, and see John Cena and Shawn Michaels wrestle for nearly an hour and tear the place down, apparently. Not that I can remember it that well, but that's why it's going to be interesting to check it out. The poll will, as always, be on our Twitter account or X at @chain_wrestling. So make sure you're checking that out, voting in the poll when it goes up, normally on a Friday now after the podcast version has dropped, and you're retweeting, sharing, and getting your friends involved, etc., etc., etc. Because as always, this show is your show. You decide where we go, what we watch, and what we talk about.
Exactly. We are just conduits for the entertainment.
We are indeed, mate. We are indeed. Magsy, I mean, there's nothing else in the chat that's popped up, so I think you might have a road story for us.
I mean, Sharon says she deleted that. Good.
But it's still there.
Because you almost ruined it, Sharon. Let's call a spade a spade. That's another Burnley thing. Let's do a road story. Pouring yourself some pop, then were you, sir?
I was, mate. I need basically. I've got a bottle that I use for my squash at work. I dropped it behind a pallet at work today, so that's lost. So I need a new bottle. So I'm emptying this one out tonight.
Surely it's going to be there.
Yeah, but I was clocking out, mate. I wasn't going to fucking around and get it. So
do you not have like a proper water bottle?
Yeah, but I like to have the big 2-litre bottle.
Yeah, that is 2 litre.
Then
2 litre water bottle. Yeah, it's got a little handle.
But what I've done is I've just poured the last of that lemonade into my glass, and it's so close to the brim that there's no way I can get it to my mouth now. Right, it's spinning.
You're gonna have to lean.
This is gonna be a fucking disaster.
Sip. Oh!
Don't make me laugh, you fucking prick. Oh, there we go. All safe. Okay. Magsy, what you got for us?
So, this week's road story. Have you ever heard of the butterfly effect?
Yes. There was a film about it, wasn't there?
Yeah. So it's basically something small can escalate and affect something really big. Have you ever played with a domino rally?
Oh, right. Well, you knock it down and it goes shh.
Yeah. You make one movement and the rest of the dominoes all fall down. So sometimes it only takes a small action or a reaction or an assumption to unleash a chain of events that can escalate wildly out of control. And one night in 1984, there was an action, a reaction, and an assumption that did exactly that. So, in a Louisiana nightclub called the Lighthouse, the main character in this tale, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, was minding his own business, sipping away on his drink, and then an action happened, and the action was that Duggan was hit with a flying chunk of ice, quickly followed by a second one. Duggan then assumed that it was Hercules Hernandez and Steve Williams, who were his current wrestling storyline rivals, and they were also at the opposite end of the room. So then Duggan reacted by lobbing a piece of ice back towards the pair. And probably due to the fact he has a pair of wonky eyes, Duggan missed Hernandez and Williams and hit a nearby woman. This woman went mental. She proceeded to charge at Duggan, attempted to swill him with a drink. Duggan avoided it. So when she missed, the crazy psycho then started to throw hands at Duggan. Duggan was forced to defend himself. That's when a guy who presumably was romantically involved with the woman tried to defend her honor, and he sucker punched Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Now, Duggan is a big, burly wrestler, ex-footballer, so he sparks this guy clean out. But that then caused a mass brawl in the club. Duggan, Hercules, and Dr. Death basically were taking on everyone in the bar. Bodies flying everywhere, people getting knocked out left, right, and center. They had to fight their way out of the door. Once outside, everyone thought, well, that's happened, and let's move on to the next bar. But the police arrived, and then subsequently, Hercules Hernandez was arrested for a prior DUI. So all from Jim Duggan reacting and assuming that someone had thrown some ass at him, did that chain of events all escalate. And the kicker is, until their dying day, both Steve Williams and Hercules Hernandez flat out denied that they threw any ass at Duggan that night. So yeah, that is this week's Raw story. Jim Duggan caused
Interesting.
riot in a Louisiana nightclub.
Fucking hell. I mean, I can imagine. I mean, can you imagine them not scrapping? I mean, Hercules was a big old unit, wasn't he? And then Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
All three of them were tanks. They were barrel shirt people.
And Dr. Death Steve Williams was legit hard as fuck. Yeah. So, my word. I mean, Duggan's hands are like fucking saucepans. As I mentioned on the show before when I met him, it was just it's frightening how big this guy is.
Well, it was just it was just built, weren't it? It was just like a block. So you can definitely see those three just tossing bodies all over that club and just chinning everybody.
Oh, fantastic. I love Duggan. What a top bloke. What a top bloke. Maybe not at that exact moment, but normally, what a top bloke.
No, but he was the victim. He was the original victim. He got hit with some ass and he just made a silly reaction and assumed it was someone and then caused the fucking nightclub to go into a mass brawl.
Oh, brilliant stuff. I love the road stories to close off an episode of Chain Wrestling Magazine.
It's just a bit of fun. It's better than realizing that cats are getting used for dog farts.
Yeah, that makes me sad. I figures I knew about that as well, and it's just sad. But anyway, Magsy, that's it then, I suppose, mate. That's it for another episode of Chain Wrestling Live.
What a bloody good episode. It's been...
Yeah, I enjoyed myself.
The non-wrestling topic was so much fun. The match was brilliant. Yeah, this has been a quality episode. Thank you, everybody who was tuned in and commented and got involved. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, follow me down here on the X. I probably won't reply because I don't go on there because Elon Musk is a Nazi. But follow me on TikTok though. That's this. This is the TikTok. Yes. Podfather is the X. But follow me on this Podfarmer Mags on TikTok, where you'll see chickens, ducks, weight loss, the whole shebang, the trifecta.
The trifecta, the holy grail of social media.
Of three things that don't link together.
No, there we go. I want to give a shout out to a new show on the network that started a couple of weeks back called Chronic Callum, hosted by our good friend Matt Lewis and pro wrestler Callum Cruz, looking at people who are suffering with chronic illness and discussing how their lives are affected and so on. It's brilliantly done, brilliantly produced, brilliantly hosted. Out every Tuesday morning. Make sure you're checking that out. The Doctor Who pod as well, of course, out every Monday. Loving doing that show with Dan Griffin. Make sure you're checking that out if you enjoy Doctor Who. And we also have, again, another episode out this week. It's already out on the main feed, looking at the Sugar and Spice book signing event in Sheffield, where my wife is a signing author. I know, she's fucking rock star famous. It's amazing. That each Sunday you have, well, every other Sunday, sorry, they do a live show talking about, or just chatting, meeting the authors and so on, and getting to know each other and talking about the book world in general. Sharon was a guest on this last one that just happened. That podcast is out because as SJP World Media are carrying the podcast version for the book signing, so make sure you're checking that out as well. So much going on, Magsy. The waiting room is on a little bit of a hiatus at the moment because Benny had a bit of bad news family-wise, so we're taking a break whilst he gets himself set, but we will be back very, very soon carrying that on. Wrestling News Time Machine with Morty as well, just talking nonsense and looking at nostalgia and music and television out every Friday. Loads going on. Make sure you're following it all on at SJP World Media on Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, etc., 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 all those places, and all your podcast players, platforms, and providers. But most importantly, you can find and follow this show itself on Chain_Wrestling on Blue Sky, Facebook, and Twitter. Twitter, X, whatever it is the most important one at the moment because that is where our non-wrestling topic and our poll is. We may review that in the future and have a look if Blue Sky can host something, or we'll see how we go. But make sure you're checking us a follow on Twitter if you want to get involved in that side of things. And that's that, Maxie. That's everything covered. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, everyone for joining us live, everyone who listens on the podcast version as well. We love you all. Thank you so much for getting involved. And that's that, Maxie. I'm off now to hastily make myself a couple of sandwiches for work and then get my head down because I've got an early start in the morning. I'll speak to you next week, my friend.
Barry Windham calls a bread roll a cob.